G'day guys, so in this video I'm going to look at my top 4 Quetzal platforms in Ark Survival Evolved. First up, the Harvester. So this platform, as the name suggests, is used for collecting resources. Now I won't go through a full build for the Harvester because it's quite straightforward and it's more about how it's used than how it's built. This one's built with 4 foundations with 4 ceilings on the side, 4 walls down, and a 4x4 ceiling scoop built onto the bottom. It's simple to put together and can be put together as needed. Just remember to build one wall down further than you need so you can place that ceiling down and then delete the wall later. Now to make use of the Harvester you'll also need a loading and unloading bay built back at your base. So I've slapped one together here to demonstrate it. It's little more than a 3x3 tunnel with a ramp up to the top, with refining forges and smithies lining the sides, and a flat wall off the top front entrance to the tunnel, with that tunnel at least 2 squares deep. So to use, just walk the quetz underneath the platform, stopping on the other side. Walk a suitable harvesting dinosaur up onto the top and park him front and centre. Go mine as many resources as you want. There's no weight limit. The Enclio in this case is encumbered, he can't move, so to unload him you just walk through the tunnel again. It'll knock him straight off the back and in front of the forges and the smithy for unloading. So you can do all this yourself, it's just a little less convenient jumping on and off the 2 dinosaurs. We are taking advantage of the exploit that allows the dinosaur you're carrying to carry as much weight as it wants, without affecting the quetz's weight. So as you can see we're carrying nearly 7,000 weight in resources, which means the dinosaur on the back is an immovable object. So if you do happen to get knocked off on a tree or a cliff face, you won't be able to move. And that's where the scoop comes into play. You can scoop dinosaurs up as long as they have a rider on and carry them wherever you want and drop them off. So in this case we'll just return home, back to the unloading bay, fly over the top and knock him off. And that's how you harvest as many resources as you could possibly want. Next up, the fighter. And I refer to this as a turtle class fighter because only its head's exposed. So most fighting quetzes have all their armament on the top. Thus they have to get underneath the other quetz to bring all their plans to bear. But if they try that with this quetz, all you have to do is do a quick turn, it'll pull the head in and they'll have no target to aim at. So it is well armoured, but it doesn't come at the expense of its ability to fight back. The fighter carries a maximum of 16 plants, or 14 plants, as well as a turret and a bed, which is what's shown here. Anyway, there is a few tricks to building this platform, so I'll give a full build log. So first up, you really do want to sink the foundation into the platform. So lay a pillar down in that position, snap a foundation next to it, delete the pillar and place the pillar in the centre of that platform. Now foundation next to the foundation will be one step lower. And you'll have to do this 5 times. You can use wooden pillars and thatch foundations to save on resources, since it's all going to be demolished anyway. Okay, so now you're at the level of the platform. Put 2 foundations back behind that one and demolish the one in front. Now place 2 thatched ceilings at the front and 2 walls off the side of those. You can now snap a foundation underneath those ceilings, which will embed those walls into the foundation. So you can now remove the ceilings. Now you want to build 2 more walls down. I actually only needed to extend one side down that far, but that's to allow you to snap a ceiling across the bottom of the quetz. So lay the ceiling as shown. There's no need to protect the wings and the feet, as turrets won't target them. Now you can remove those extensions. As I said, you only needed one, and it should have been thatch if you want to save on resources. Now another wall up on the side, a ceiling out and a ceiling back. And repeat that on both sides. And that's the final quetz platform finished. So the gap in the front and the back will be protected by the plants once they grow. Now you just want to slap down a crop plot on every exposed square. 14 in total, including 2 off the back of the platform. Normally you can't build a plant on top of a plant because there's a ceiling above it and won't get watered. But in this case it will. Now you have a choice. You can build 2 more plants on the front, or do what I usually do. Put a turret and a bed. And that'll bring you up to the 40 block limit, maxing out the quetz. Now you just have to plant Plan X and wait for them to grow. And then you can go nuts. Now the third build we're going to look at is the trapper quetz, which is used for trapping, holding and taming other quetzals. Like the harvester, this build is really quite straightforward, so I'm not going to give a full build log, but a quick rundown of how it's made. So its outer dimensions are 3 by 3 by 3 cube, coming off 2 centerline foundations, which is extended with ceilings on 3 sides. 3 walls up in each corner, a U-shaped ceiling on top of that, and 2 walls down in the centre front. And for protection I've also added 4 plants on top. You also want to store a few walls handy inside the quetz. You'll need 2 to close the trap after you've caught another quetz. So how do you use it? Well, first track down a wild quetz. Fly underneath him, line his head up with that slot in the top. Rise up and stop the cage in front of him and let him dock himself. If you're moving, he'll pass straight through the cage. Take those 2 walls that you had stored on the quetz and build 2 off the back. That'll lock him inside. Now you can either knock him out here and tame him where he falls, as you can't transport an unconscious animal on a quetz platform. The other option is to move him. To do that he needs to be agitated. He can't be in a passive cruising state or he'll just fall out of the cage. So shoot him once and then you can slowly move. Don't move fast or he'll glitch through the side. So here I'm slowly descending to make sure he doesn't fall in the water. But I ended up right on top of an ant nest. So I was able to slowly fly him out of there into a safe place where I can knock him out and tame him in safety. So once he's knocked out, if you try to move the platform, he'll just slide out. That's something to keep in mind. Now the last build, and the most overpowered, is the Fortress Quetz. This fully encases the quetz and makes him impenetrable by turrets. So shown here's an endgame quetz, full metal build with auto turrets and a rocket turret on top. There is a few tricks to getting this build together, so I'm going to go over the full build. And while I'm using metal, it's just as effective to use stone on a primitive server, if not more effective, creating an impenetrable quetz fortress. Okay, so here we go. Start by aligning a thatch foundation front and centre, and snap a foundation behind that. Now you can demolish that thatch and replace it with a thatch ceiling. Now build a wall down from the thatch, snap a foundation under the thatch ceiling. Now demolish the ceiling, and that wall will remain embedded within the foundation. Now you'll need to build 5 walls down, with the last wall being thatch. It'll be demolished later. And build the floor as shown. Six ceilings in the front. And 7 at the back. Now you can get rid of that thatch extension. We're doing this as efficiently as possible so we have enough space left to mount all the turrets. Quetz platforms are limited to 40 pieces. Now you want to place some wooden ramps, front and centre, and at the centre of the back. You also want to place one 2 squares back on the side. These ramps are solely used to help you align the gateways. Now you can place your first gateway, aligning it with the centre of those 2 ramps. So that'll give you a 45 degrees off the centre. Now you can snap the second gateway 90 degrees off that one. Now for the next two gateways you should be able to find a snap straight along the side. The last two gateways are a bit trickier since we're not relying on a snap. You want to align it from the centre back to just inside the other gateway. We're doing this to avoid the use of the corner squares, thus freeing up space to put more turrets on. So once that's placed, you can then place the doors in. They should go in without trouble. And demolish those ramps that you put in earlier. And now you should have 8 pieces spare to use how you want. So here I'm going to add a bit more armour for his head. Place a generator down about centre. Electrical wire up with an outlet. Now I can either go 5 auto turrets or 4 auto turrets and a manned turret. And they can be placed into the corners. And now your fortress Quetz is untouchable by any turret or wild dinosaur. People can still shoot you in the wings. The area effect of the Bronto's attacks can attack you as well. But most dinosaurs will try and attack you through the dino doors, which they won't be able to do. So here's the ideal endgame Quetz fitted with a rocket turret, taking out a metal behemoth door. So here's a hostile base and a primitive built fortress. So with stone gateways and 6 plants on top. But it also has a blister turret mounted inside. So as you can see, the turrets on the base won't attack because it has no line of sight onto the body or the head, and they won't attack the wings or the feet. So you can just go and land in their base unopposed. And if you feel that way inclined, use your plants to wipe out all their dinosaurs. But what if you just want to break into their base and leave everything else? Well, that's where the Blister Inside comes into play. This is one of my earlier prototypes. But as you can see, you can walk straight up to the base, open one of the doors, whereby your raiding party hidden inside shoots into the door with the blister and charges in, unopposed. This is game breaking as hell. But you might as well use it while you can. Anyway, be sure to check out my other video on the boat building, and my other channel on shooting, trapping, and the science behind it. Thanks.